New York State Racing Parimutuel Wagering and Breeding Law, Section 102, provides that the New York State Gaming Commission shall consist of 7 members appointed by the governor, by and with the advice and consent of the Senate. 4 members confirmed by the New York State Senate are necessary to afford the commission an ability to establish a quorum and to undertake action. This present meeting of the commission is now called to order. Ms. Secretary, will you please call the roll?
John Crotty.
Here.
Peter Machete. John Baklemba.
Here.
Barry Sample.
Here.
Jerry Skurnick.
Here.
Ms. Secretary, please have the record reflect that a quorum of qualified members is present, thus enabling the transaction of business. Mr. Machete has a previous commitment and was unavailable to meet today.
Minutes of the commission meeting conducted on December 19th, 2019 have been provided to the members in advance. At this time, I'd like to ask the members if there are any edits, corrections, or amendments. Any changes?
No.
Please let the record reflect that the minutes were accepted. We'll move on to the next item, which is adjudications. The next item of scheduled business regards adjudications. Today we have 2 items for adjudication. Mr. Williams?
The state steward at Aqueduct Racetrack suspended apprentice jockey Benjamin Hernandez Soto for 10 days for a failure to ride in a professional manner. Specifically, he was accused of failure to protect the best interest of his mount by not dismounting when his horse illustrated distress during the running of the 8th race on February 8, 2019. Mr. Hernandez requested a hearing, which was conducted over 3 days in June and July of 2019. The hearing officer submitted a report dated December 30th, 2019, recommending that the finding of a violation be upheld, but that the penalty be reduced to a 5-day suspension. The commission considered this matter at a meeting conducted pursuant to the judicial or quasi-judicial proceedings exemption of the New York Public Officers Law, Section 108.1.
The commission duly deliberated and considered this matter and determined upon a 4-0 vote to modify the hearing officer's report and recommendations and provide for no suspension. Next case.
On October 23rd, 2019, the Division of the Charitable Gaming issued a notice of hearing to determine whether the license of McGee Volunteer Fire Department, Inc. entire should be suspended or revoked, and whether McGee Fire should be fined for numerous violations on charitable gaming laws and regulations. Specifically, McGee Fire was accused of failing to timely file weekly bingo reports and bingo cash control reports with the local licensing authority, failing to timely file quarterly bingo reports with the local licensing authority or to file such reports with the commission, failing to timely deposit bingo proceeds, conducting bingo without a bingo license, failing to list all active members who would conduct bingo, failing to disclose the name and criminal history of a member who would conduct bingo, and failing to require members to wear identifying badges while conducting bingo. They were also accused of selling bell jar tickets without a license, failing to file quarterly bell jar reports with the commission, and selling raffle tickets outside permitted municipalities, and conducting raffles with net proceeds exceeding $5,000 without a license. A hearing was conducted on December 10th, 2019. The hearing officer submitted a report to the Commission Secretary dated January 31st, 2020, finding numerous violations as charged, but not finding violations for failure to disclose the criminal history of a member assisting in bingo, or for the sale of bell jar tickets and associated reporting after 2010. The hearing officer recommended that the commission revoke McGee Fire's bingo license and bingo identification number and games of chance identification number and declare them ineligible to apply for a new license and numbers for 1 year and fine the McGee Fire Department $5,000. The hearing officer further recommended that the imposition of the penalties be suspended for 3 years, subject to McGee Fire's immediate and full compliance with all charitable gaming laws and regulations. The hearing officer also recommended that if, at any time during the 3-year suspension period, McGee Fire violates any charitable gaming laws or regulations, the suspension should be revoked and the penalty should be immediately imposed. However, the hearing officer also recommended that if the McGee Fire Department did not violate any charitable gaming laws or regulations during the 3-year suspension period, at the conclusion of that period, the penalty should be dismissed in full. The commission considered this matter at a meeting conducted pursuant to the judicial or quasi-judicial proceedings exemption of New York Public Officers Law, Section 108.1.
The commission duly deliberated and considered this matter and determined upon a 4-0 vote to sustain the hearing officer's report and recommendations. Our next item on the agenda is old business. Our last meeting, we discussed LASIX, and we also discussed the use of the crop, which was of keen interest to Commissioner Machete, and the LASIX issue was a keen interest for Commissioner Crotty. Due to the fact that Commissioner Machete is not with us today, we'd like to take that matter up at our next meeting where we could have more of a comprehensive discussion of the matter, have staff here to report back on both of those issues.
Makes sense.
Okay? Anybody have any other old business? Okay. Is there any new business? Does anyone have? Hearing done, I suggest that we work with Kristen on scheduling our next session, and we're going to adjourn for the day. May I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
All right.
Thank you.